Hi everyone, how are you? This is your weekly astrology forecast and my name is Natalie. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that if you enjoy what I share here on this channel, you can consider subscribe and share it with your friends. In this video, we are talking about this upcoming week astrology forecast and we are talking about April 7th to 13th of 2025. This is a big week. We have two stations happening and a full moon, so we have a lot to talk about. First of all, on April 7th, we have Mercury station direct at 26 degrees 45 minutes in Pisces at 4:07 a.m. Pacific time or 7:07 p.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. So today, Mercury station direct, yay! But don't forget, there is the part 3, which I always refer to, the last phase of Mercury retrograde. We have the post-shadow, the actual retrograde, and then the post-shadow energy. So there's still a couple weeks of post-shadow energy, which will last until April 26. So from now until April 26, Mercury is not up to speed yet. Mercury is still, right now, on a standstill. And slowly, when Mercury starts to travel forward, retracing those degree points, it will slowly gain its normal speed. And it is until it's out of the post-shadow phase of Mercury retrograde energy, that is when Mercury will truly enter its regular journey. So from now until April 26, still be mindful with although Mercury retrograde stuff, the tech stuff and, the technology, traffic, your own individual Mercury journey. You might be gaining clarity, solution, answers, aha moments regarding to your own Mercury retrograde journey or story that you have been navigating through. Everyone will be different. It depends how it aspects your chart, which houses is happening. So take a look and see where is that for you. In the Pisces house and slowly back into the Aries house as well. So Mercury station is very closely conjuncting with Venus, Saturn, and North Node in Pisces. So there's a stellium of energy with this Mercury station in the sign of Pisces. And we also do have, which I'll talk about it in a moment, the Venus-Saturn conjunction. So in some way, shape, or form, I feel like this station can be quite impactful for some of us, especially if you have any planets or point degree in 26 degree in Pisces or aspecting this degree point, you definitely is feeling it. And because North Node is there as well, so some of us might feel something destined or fated that is taking place around this time, this week, I would say, or maybe this past weekend. And on a collective level, since there's so many planets involved, I feel like there might be some important or major news headlines. So we'll just have to pay attention and see what comes up. And usually when a planet stations, it brings a moment of revelation. Oh, sorry, I was talking about Mercury. So whenever Mercury station direct, the moment that is stationed usually can bring in some kind of revelation, realization, or aha moment for us. So see what comes up for you. What are you thinking, processing, discussing, talking with people, or the information you're receiving this early part of the week or this past weekend. This might be the hint to what you are receiving as well. But moving forward, Mercury will slowly gain the speed. And very funny, like people always tend to think that, oh, Mercury is stationing direct, or whenever a planet station direct, you expect some kind of like, oh my god, it's just gonna go zoom, 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 full speed, like Mercury's direct, I'm just gonna do everything, like gain full speed, everything's just gonna go sunshine and rainbow. Like I said, there's a post-shadow phase energy, so it's not the time where you really want to just go dive in or expecting things to just happen. You still need to give it some time to let Mercury gain its speed. So just take your time if you can, and still be mindful with all those Mercury retrograde things I've just talked about. And on the same day, we have Venus retrograde conjunct Saturn and Pisces. So I don't know if I mentioned last week, anyway, but we actually will be feeling this Venus-Saturn conjunction the whole month in April because of how close they are together. Since the beginning of April, literally Venus is not really moving, so it's just like sitting there conjuncting Saturn. Today is like the exact day where they are conjuncting on top of each other. And because Venus will station direct at the end of the week as well, but Mercury is a little bit slower than Mercury, so Venus is going to just stay in this conjunction for a few days and slowly travel direct. So we are actually going to have another conjunction of Venus Saturn, the last and final, because of the Venus retrograde. So the first one was when Venus, it's in its pre-shadow phase of Venus retrograde, which was January 18, and now Venus retrograding. So this is the second time. And on April 24th, which is the end of April, this is after Venus station direct and travel forward and conjunct Saturn again, the last and final time. So this is only the second time. Maybe you are getting another glimpse of this Venus retrograde story you're moving through, and it will be final by the end of April. So see what comes up. Like I said, everyone is moving through their own Venus retrograde story, so it can be different. But just to mention a little note I'm picking up on the collective level, on January 18, when we first have this Venus-Saturn conjunction, there is one major news on the collective level. TikTok was set to be banned. And on the 18th, it went dark for like half a day, like 12-ish hours, a little bit more than that. And then it reopened, right? And that was when Trump got inaugurated in a couple days, and when TikTok reopened, the first message is like, ooh, thanks to him, it's back online. And guess what? Right when I am recording this video, which is on Sunday, we just have a news a couple days ago on April 5th, which is around this conjunction, which the energy is there already. Trump announced that there is an extension of this TikTok ban for another 75 days. See? So this is what's happening. I wonder if anything might come up again on during end of April, but definitely interesting that is happening on these two conjunctions. Don't know what's going to happen in the final one, but it's good to pick up on that and see what happens and see how the story and continue to unfold. Okay, so let's talk about this Venus-Saturn conjunction. Personally, I don't hate it. Some people don't like it because it can be very tense. And yes, this conjunction between Venus and Saturn can be a little bit serious and whatnot, but it can be very helpful. Because on one hand, energy goes both ways. On one hand, this Venus-Saturn conjunction can allow some of us to want to be serious about all the Venusian things. So just some example. For example, you were just going on dates. Maybe in the first conjunction during January, you were just dating around, testing the water, going on dates, and maybe come around on the second one, you are like, oh, you know what, I do feel like there's one person that I'm connecting with more, and it's time to maybe lock that in and take one step further and be serious about it, right? Maybe this is the time to make a commitment, or maybe this is the time you decided to, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on this person that I really like and kind of get serious about it and forgo the other one that I'm not connecting with, you know, or maybe this is you guys wanting to make it official, or maybe this is when you have that last and final conjunction by the end of April. That is when you're like, I want to solidify this connection, this commitment, I want to do it seriously. Or maybe someone, this is take it to another step, right? The next level, proposing, who knows, maybe someone is going to receive a proposal today or the next one, who knows, right? Making it serious. Venus also talks about, you know, other Venusian things can be money matters, and it's not just limited to romantic partnership. It can also be friendship, family dynamic, all kinds of one-on-one partnerships. So this can be, you know, an old friend coming in, reconnecting, and things like that. This can be business related. Again, money matter. This is maybe you want to, you know, discuss a contract, finalize detail, signing it, you know. This can be a creative project, you know. Instead of planning it, you're really doing it. You're really starting to take step and bring it down into the reality, right? And on the other hand, this can also be very helpful in another way to know what relationships that you want to continue to invest in. Maybe the Saturn-Venus conjunction is sobering you up to see that maybe perhaps there are some relationships that don't deserve your energy no more, that are not reciprocating, that are not aligning with your beliefs and values. Again, Venus talks about our values and our belief system. Maybe you don't support what I support, we don't share the same values anymore, so we can't be friends, you know, because how we supposed to move forward if we are like polar opposite in what we think and what we believe in, right? And this can be things like that, drawing boundaries, Saturn, right? Drawing the limitation boundaries, you know, saying no and getting rejected, vice versa, right? So this can be, you know what, this project is just a no-go for me, we're not doing it, I'm gonna like cut costs and just stop it, right? So this can be, you know, either way for some of us, and yes, for some situation it can be quite uncomfortable, quite intense, and a little bit, you know, but at the same time it also bring in that clarity. It also help you to move through those situations, and this is also happening for everybody's highest good as well. And on the same day, yes, there's so much happening in the beginning of the week on the same day. Venus is also making a little sextile with Uranus and Taurus. So this kind of uplift the mood a little bit, the energy a little bit, but also related because Venus and Uranus is going to give you that momentum, that movement to also do what I just mentioned. But at the same time, this Venus-Uranus sextile can also be bringing in a little sweet surprise for some of us. Maybe this is a news or information coming in. This is out of the blue, unexpected, right? Uranus, the wild card energy. So this can be maybe your ex-friend, you know, someone in the past reaching out to that you didn't expect, right? That reach out and want to talk to you again, to reconnect with you again. And the sextile can be a pleasant surprise, right? Maybe they wanted to rekindle the relationship. Yes, this can happen. And maybe they want to reconnect the friendship. You know, hey, how are you? It's been a while. You know, maybe I was moving through something difficult. That's why I kind of like vanish and disappear. But now I'm ready to like continue to communicate or whatsoever, right? And for some, not all, right? But this can be a wild card, unexpected energy, which can lead to you catching feelings or like connecting with someone or see someone that is not your usual typical type, but you find them interesting. This can be a friend. This can be a love interest, a little crush there, you know, like you connect with a person you didn't expect to connect with, and you guys have the same interests and you guys become friends. Or maybe this is a little love crush thing going on too, so that can happen today as well. On April 12th, we have our full moon in Libra taking place. This full moon in Libra is happening with the moon at 23 degrees 19 minutes in the sign of Libra and the sun on the opposite side, same degree in Aries, and it's happening on April 12th 5:22 p.m. Pacific time, or April 13, 8:22 a.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. This is a intense, major, big full moon lunation for a couple of reasons. First, this is the first lunation that we have in the sign of Libra that is not an eclipse, although it feels like one. We'll talk about it. That is not eclipse, because we have been experiencing eclipses in the axes of Aries and Libra since 2023, the past couple of years. So this is the first that is not an eclipse. Yay. But it feels like one because of the aspect that it's making. Also, this is a full moon in Libra, like I said, and the ruler of this full moon, which is the ruler of Libra, Venus, is stationing direct today as well, around the same time, within an hour of this full moon, so literally the same time. Okay, so Venus is stationing direct today at 24 degrees 37 minutes in Pisces. So this is big because it's like you're feeling that little shake under the earthquake, you know. But even though, like I said, it's not an eclipse, but it feels like one because of the aspect. The sun in Aries is conjuncting Chiron, literally within hours. So we are having a Chiron Cazimi. Whenever the planet align with the sun, we have a Cazimi, right? So there's a Chiron Cazimi happening in the sign of Aries, which means the moon is opposing Chiron as well. And at the same time, this full moon, the sun and the moon, they're both squaring Mars in Cancer. Oh my God, Mars is still in Cancer. It's like, I want to stop saying that Mars is in Cancer. No, I don't mean to diss anyone with Mars in Cancer, but seriously, I'm just so done with this Mars in Cancer transit that's been with us since like last year, September. So it's been like half a year, more than half a year. So yes, we are so ready to be done with it, and we will soon be done with it. But right now, Mars is still in Cancer, and it is squaring the full moon, and all these aspects together with Mars, with Chiron, Aries and Libra, the sun and the moon and Venus stationing direct, all these, it just bringing up, and its hard aspect is bringing up. And also, don't forget, Venus is conjuncting Saturn, right? I just talked about that aspect. And all these is just bringing up the energy of destruction, limitation, distress, pain, wound, violence, and injustice on all levels. And this can happen in your own life, depending on what you're moving through. And for some, for sure. And on a collective level, I mean, I don't feel like I need to say what is happening right now in the world. It just really worries me. Like this week really worries me. Just like reading the news just now, and you know, thinking about everything that's happening, and like looking. I'm sure I'm not the first astrologer you hear about these, but the past couple of years, whenever we have an eclipse in the sign of Aries and Libra, some news will happen. Some exploding news, literally exploding news will take place, will kind of be amplified about the genocide, because of how the eclipses in Aries and Libra is really aspecting Israel and Palestine chart. And it's hard. I'm just worried. And with the news I've been seeing today and the past couple of days, it's just like escalating, and the energy is building up to that full moon. I just hope, you know, I want to be optimistic. I'm a Sag rising. Even though I'm a Scorpio, I have a stellium energy there. I do have a stellium in Sagittarius too. So I always want to speak the truth. I always don't want to downplay and bypass. I always want to be honest with you all, but I also want to see things also with my Sagittarius energy. to be optimistic too, because there's always energy to counteract and not to be doom and gloom. But now we know that we can choose how to work with this energy and how do we respond to this energy. Sorry, went off tangent for a second, but just let's talk about this full moon personally. So on a personal level, this full moon, with all the aspects I just talked about, can illuminate, can bring light, bring attention to your relationships in your world, your relationship sector, not just romantic, all kinds of one-on-one relationship, partnership. This can bring up the dynamics of all of them for you to take a look at, and it will illuminate and highlight maybe perhaps some of them in your life that might need your attention to, because you will be thinking and reflecting. And also, since we do because it's still retrograde, we did have Mercury and Venus retrograde, and Venus retrograde, of course, Venus is ruling this full moon. Having Venus retrograde, maybe you already have been dealing with this energy and working with this energy and reflecting on all the relationships in your life. You might be thinking, how are you? How is the other person, showing up in this relationship? And is it reciprocating? Do they share the same values and belief system with you? Venus talks about values, right? Are you giving your power away, neglecting your needs in this relationship, or vice versa? And are you reciprocating? Is the other person doing that? Do you align, in this relationship? Right? So this full moon also is conjuncting Aries, which is the wounded warrior, right? We're having a Chiron Cazimi as well. Mars in Cancer is squaring it. So all these can also bring up old wounds and traumas. It can bring up pains and memories. They might resurface, not to ruin your life, not to haunt you, but it is to bring up for you, so that for some of you, this is to see how far you've come, of course, and maybe perhaps if there's unhealed issues, wound, trauma, whatever they are, this full moon is really zooming that in and lighting it up for you to see, to bring it forefront for you to look at them, right? Of course, the shadow side of this energy of Mars in Cancer, of Chiron, and this full moon can make you project. You might project in a passive aggressive way, reacting to it and trying to bypass it, or even use it to emotionally manipulate someone, right? For what they've done to you, or blah, 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 or vice versa. Someone is doing that to you. And this can be really, really triggering for some people, depending what you're moving through or what happened in the past for you. But for some, it is to bring up so that you can not try to bypass it no more, but instead to really love yourself at a deeper level, so that you can open to healing, that you can embark on your healing journey, or allow you to heal a deeper layer, right? To look at it from a different perspective, and so on, so on, so forth. Oh my goodness. Full moon can really bring up that energy, dial up the energy to another level for some of us, and really shine light on something might be very uncomfortable, might be very triggering for some of us, and really can why? Why is that showing up? I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to look at it. Or you are going to feel so frustrated because you're so triggered, right? But always know that universe is not here to ruin your life, but to want to remind you that you need to show up for yourself, or maybe perhaps others, right? This is inviting us to really take a look and see what they are trying to teach us. And remember, Venus is stationing direct, meaning Venus is standing still, not moving. So this full moon in some way, shape, or form is also a moment of stillness, to allow us to not rush, not to be impulsive and reactive, but to really go inward, see what comes up, and reflect and contemplate, and not rush into, projecting it to others, or doing something impulsive that you will regret later, and so on and so forth. So just see what comes up for you. Try your best to give love to that part of yourself, that feelings, that emotions, to feel them, because in order to move through them, you first need to feel them. And let's take a look at the tarot that is associated with this full moon. First of all, this full moon is happening at 23 degrees 19 minutes, which is the third decan in Libra. And this decan is represented by the Four of Swords. And Libra's card in the tarot is the Justice. So take a look. This Four of Swords, this soldier, knight, this person is just laying there in a motion of, in a praying hand motion, and it's just resting. Like I just said, right now, whatever comes up can be very triggering for some of us, or it can be uneasy, it can be uncomfortable, but it is also inviting us to really just not to be reactive and impulsive. And not, yes, of course, you might feel triggered, you might feel the pain coming up, the wound coming up. And if possible, give your time that time and space to rest. Maybe you need to step away, take time off if you are allowed, or if you're able to. Give yourself the rest that you need. Go take a nap, go rest, space out so that you can process, make space to process it, and go inward to see what is really happening for you, right? And they might come up to allow you, like I said, to finally start on a healing journey. And in order to, bring in that balance, you first need to, of course, go inward and digest everything, process everything that is coming up, and be the just judge for yourself, right? To really see what you can do, how you can do to move through it, to bring justice to your situation, what you're moving through, which is maybe the healing journey, right? Maybe whatever you need. Maybe this is a venting session with a friend. Maybe this is a therapy session, a healing session, like seeking a session with energy healer, therapist, whoever you feel comfortable with. Maybe this is consulting with an astrologer to see what remedies they can provide, within your chart to move through it. And this is also coming up so that it will shine a light in those blind spots for you to finally know that maybe perhaps what relationship, bringing that scale of justice to forefront, and see what relationship, what values is no longer aligning and reciprocating, and it's time to draw that boundary, to speak up for yourself, to give yourself justice, and maybe perhaps even to walk away. And of course, on a collective level, same thing with what is happening now around the world, with all this different world leader, all this tariff wars, all this violence, protests, genocide that is happening. This full moon is bringing our attention to what truly matters. And I know it can sound really serious when I say it, but I do believe that all of us, and again, this is on a spectrum, right, to various degree, but we are all directly or indirectly complicit. But also, we are all the solution. We all can also contribute on a different level, in different ways, to contribute to the change, to the solution that we want to see in the world. And I love seeing all this, people around the world like united together and just speak up and stand for the right thing, the truth. It's so beautiful to see that. It's like so Pluto and Aquarius, we are in a new stage, a new cycle, with all this outer planet moving to different signs. So this is bringing the justice and balance back into our world and into your own world. Maybe perhaps you're feeling your world is turning upside down. This full moon might be shining a light of where are you not having that balance, having that justice in your relationships, in your value belief system. And how can you contribute? What can you do, right, to draw that boundary to that toxic situation or relationship you have in your life, so that you can bring the balance and harmony back into your world, and on a collective level to humanity, right? Because this third decan in Libra is ruled by Jupiter. Wheel of Fortune. This is a neutral energy card, right? Things can go either way. It depends, and you have the free will to choose and do what it is that you want to do, right? I want to show you the oracle card that came up for us for this week for the collective reading. We have this card 33, Chaos and Conflict. Like, what other card can we get for this week energy? But look at this. This chaos and conflict card, even though it says chaos and conflict, you can see the zebra, oh my god, Libra, it's not moving. It's standing still, just like what I've just shared with all this energy. And it's really, look at all this crazy shit that is happening to this zebra. Like, hello, who are you? Like, where is your zebra stripe, and what is this? Are you turning into a giraffe? Like, what is happening? For some people, your world might be literally upside down. Maybe you are moving through something that is very difficult, that is very tough. Maybe a certain situation, relationship really is draining you, and your values is really like, oh my god, like, what is true anymore? What do I truly believe in anymore? Like, it doesn't make sense anymore, right? And no matter what kind of chaos is happening in your world right now, this card is to remind you that, yes, it sucks, but they all happen for a reason. Maybe it is to bring your attention to truly to what is not working, to what is like taking your energy away, right? It's time to draw that boundary or do the right thing, do right by yourself, and take a look and see what is it that is causing that disharmony or imbalance in your life. 33 can break down to a 6, which is the number of Venus, which is the number that talks about harmony and balance. And hello, this full moon Libra is ruled by Venus. And take a look at our lunation card. The first one is where the sun is. Last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. Yes, this can be a very emotional, triggering moon for some people. So really, please, if you can carve out time for yourself. I know it's easier said than done, but again, and hello, full moon in Libra. What are we having? Full moon in Libra. Find a balance. Oh, what did I just said? I think this is very self-explanatory, right? This is a very emotional and triggering full moon for some, definitely. Try your best to work through those feelings that is coming up, the old wounds or like memories or whatnot that is coming up. It's hard, but try to find a balance. Whatever you need to do, take that day off if you can, like dial up to that friend that will listen to you, schedule a session with your therapist, astrologer, healer, whatnot, right? So I hope this message is helpful in some way, shape, or form, help you to move through and navigate through this week. 2 station and a full moon, a big energy packed week. So please do take care of yourself, and I am sending you all so much love. Take care of your energy, carve out time to rest, to reflect, to integrate whatever is coming up for you. And if I can be in service in any way, whether this is an astrology consultation, tarot akashic records reading, a distant energy healing session, my email is in the description box below. My Instagram is in the description box below. You can contact me through there. You can also follow me there. And I am sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for being here with me.